what is happening, guys. So I had a couple of people reach out to me just asking what kind of current audiences that are we using in regards to Facebook advertising to get results for our clients, and what other people can do to get results for their brands, and what audiences to test, etc. At the moment, we're going very broad with some of our audiences. We are still doing targeted testing as well, and target audience depending on how the broad audience performs. We'll break it down into targeted audiences. But I really wanted to just jump on here and do a quick video on the specifics of broad, what it means, what are the benefits, and then some of the results that we're getting for our clients. So yeah, as I said, I do get a lot of people asking me, and a couple of people this week have asked me what kind of audiences we are testing to get good results for our clients and the brands that we work with. And specifically at the moment, we are doing a lot of broad audiences. Okay, and so what is broad targeting, might you ask? Okay, broad is the location, the age, and the gender, depending on the brand that you are working with or the brand that you own yourself. Okay, so say for instance it's a baby brand, which we work with a lot of, and we also work with some women's fashion brands. Our main sort of gender that we're going to be targeting is women. The age is obviously specific to the brand. Okay, so if you're selling something to people that are in their 50s, 60s, you're going to be targeting that age bracket. Okay, baby brands more specifically, it's 18 to 45, 18 to 40. Sometimes you can do campaigns as well, but if you're targeting grandparents, but they're not really the potential buyers. The potential buyers are and the target audience are women who have just given birth, okay, or who have a child. Okay, the country is obviously any country that you want to target. Okay, and so if you're targeting USA, you put in USA. If you want to target UK, you put in UK. Okay, so that's what broad targeting is. You don't put any specific target. You don't put baby clothes or pacifiers, anything like that. If you're doing a baby brand, or for women's fashion, you're not going to put in women's fashion or Gucci. You just put the location, age, and gender. Okay, so that's what broad targeting is. Okay, and just saying that on the next note is Facebook actually wants us to go broad. So when you go broad, Facebook favors that. Okay, and the way it's hinted at us that it wants to go broad is, you can see on your ads manager over the last while, it's removing certain interests. So it's been removing different interests. I've had different interests that I had been targeting, and I've gone back to target them again months back, and the interests have been removed. Okay, also auto expansion is always on now. Before, we had the choice whether to turn that on or not, which would obviously help Facebook reach people outside the audience that we had selected if it would improve results. Now that's just always on. Okay, so Facebook wants us to go broad. Okay, and you might ask, okay, why go broad? Well, what are the benefits? Okay, if you don't understand, I'm just going to break it down to you now. Okay, so you're not wasting any money on audience testing. Okay, you're not wasting money and trying to find the perfect audience, and that's going to bring down your overall CPA. Okay, and so you go broad, you let Facebook do its thing. You're not testing lots of different audiences to make sure this is the winning audience. You let Facebook do its thing, and that's the way it is. Okay, higher scaling potential. You have not unlimited, but you have a lot more possibilities with scaling in a broad audience than you do with a targeted audience. Okay, you're no longer limiting the Facebook algorithm. Okay, which is another really good one. Facebook wants it to work in its favor. Okay, so anytime you're limiting that, it's going to cause problems for you. Okay, and more consistent results over a longer period of time, and then you're not going to get that audience burnout. Okay, so I'm just going to explain now a little bit about how the conversion windows and pools work, and so you can understand why it's good to go broad. Okay, so if you can see here, okay, so say this for instance is your audience. You pick women, USA, 18 to 45. This is the audience size. Okay, within that audience size, you're going to have a conversion pool. Okay, so you select purchase and conversions when you're creating your ads. Facebook only has a certain amount of people that it can pull together and actually target them because you've selected that. So the way it works is Facebook pulls people together in the past tendencies and movements that they've made off Facebook. So if someone's tendency has been to purchase a lot, they're going to be put in the conversion pool. If someone's tendency is to just click on an ad, go onto the website and then drop off straight away, they're going to be put in the traffic conversion pool, okay, or traffic objective pool, should I say, okay. So when you target broad and you have the full capability of that audience, so the audience size might be 60 million, you have the full capability to work with that 60 million and all the people, well, not the whole 60 million, but the people in the conversion pool of that 60 million, okay. So you're not limiting, there's no limitations on targeting the audience, okay. So say you target your first interest and a lookalike, say, it's a smaller audience already. So it's a smaller audience than this would have been. So this could be 50 million, this could be 15 million, okay. Already, this is only getting about, the conversion pool within that is only getting about 45% of who you are targeting, okay. And the same for this, okay, it's only getting about 10%, 15-20% of who you are actually targeting, okay. So it's just putting limitations. Going broad opens up so many windows, and it's not putting any limitations, okay, on your ads, okay. So I'm just going to break down, okay, broad versus targeting, okay, a little bit further, okay, and what the results we've sort of found, okay, and our findings from it, okay. So broad, it may take slightly longer to pick up a rhythm, okay. It may take slightly longer to find prospective buyers, but when it does, it's just keeps going and going and going. Once Facebook starts to learn, it keeps going, okay. There's unlimited potential, okay. Scaling becomes much easier, and you can scale for much longer because you have such a wide audience to sell to, and you're actually letting Facebook's machine learning perform properly, okay, which Facebook wants it to do, okay. Your creatives are then validated by this audience, okay. So what I'm saying by this is, if you test your audience, if you test your creatives on broad and they work, okay, and they start generating sales, they're validated creatives, they work, these creatives work. So then you can go on, okay, make iterations of that creative and keep doubling down and making more of the similar things with different actors, with a different scene, with the same sort of hooks, the same sort of play out in the video, and that are the creative, the image or video or the graphic, and they're validated then by that audience, okay. If you do that on a targeted audience, if you test creatives on a targeted audience and they don't work, you're gonna automatically say, oh well, maybe it was the audience, maybe we need to find a new audience. No, the creatives just didn't work, okay. So you're not validating them there on that audience, you're just trying to find another quick fix. Oh, maybe it was the audience, so that's the way that works, okay. So that's what we try to do. We test everything on broad to ensure that it is validated by that audience, and Facebook can find the prospective buyers, okay. Targeting, okay, if you're doing some targeting, it will find the buyers quicker because obviously you're showing the video or the image, the ad, to the people that are in your direct customer persona, okay. You've picked it out on Facebook, and it's going to find those people quicker. It's obviously going to generate some quick sales, but then after a while, it's going to burn out quite easily, okay. It's less potential to scale, okay. So you can imagine if you have your broad audience with all the capabilities that it has, you have the full conversion pool in there, so it can scale endlessly. But then you have your targeted audience with the conversion pool is only getting shown, okay, like 40%. It's less possibilities to scale, okay. You're obviously as well limiting your creative validation, okay. So you're going to be going back and forth and saying, was it the audience, was it the creatives, etc., etc. And that's not to say that we don't still do targeted audiences, okay. We do, because that is just another part of the scaling process for us, okay. But what we do first is we'll do it on broad, test our images on broad, and then we'll get the most we can out of the targeted audiences as well. And I'm going to just jump into the ads manager now and show you exactly what I mean by that, okay. So we are in one of our clients' ad accounts. Okay, this is a baby brand. They sell baby clothing and accessories. Okay, so I'm just going to run through exactly the kind of results we're getting with Broad and the way we sort of structure that. Okay, so what we started off by doing was we were testing. What we do is we test 2 images or 2 videos per audience. Okay. And these are all going on stories at the moment. Okay, so it's just a story campaign. So what we started off, we tested a video set, didn't really get any great results. Okay, so that's what we always start off by testing on Broad. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the results for the last 14 days. Okay, and see what you guys think there. Okay, so in the last 14 days, we spent $858. Okay, with a return of 10K. So 11.67x return on ad spend, which is really, really good. So the structure that we do is we test on Broad and see if it works on Broad. As you can see, this did not work. We got one sale, it was $60 per sale, and it just showed signs that it wasn't really going to work. Okay, so we cut it off. Compared to the rest, okay, the others start picking up sales much quicker on the Broad, so that's why we turned that one off. Okay, so here we are testing 2 images on Broad. So once we had found success with those 2 images, then we broke it down even further and we started testing a stacked audience. Okay, notice how I say stacked. Okay, so it's a stacked baby audience, still doing really well, and not as good as these 2, but it's still doing really well nonetheless. Okay, for our average standards, it's like this is way above average, and this is above average. Okay, so this is doing really well. So that's what we always do. We like to test on Broad, and then we will run on scale on Broad, and then we'll also branch into the targeted market as well. So we're just connecting with those people that bit faster. Okay, in the target audience. Once they burn out, then we still know that we've got some good sales out of them, and we can continue to scale on Broad. So what we will do from now on, okay, so this is image set 1, this is image set 2, and then we're going to introduce new images, and we're going to keep scaling each of these up. Okay, so these are only spending quite minimum at the moment, because we only launched them 14 days. We only launched them on the 14 days ago. Okay, so we're beginning to scale anyway, and we launched them all on $15 for the top of funnel and $12 for the middle of funnel, because obviously they haven't got as much audience, and we don't want to saturate the audience too much. But yeah, so that's generally how we do inside the ads manager, and as you can see, it is working really well. Now, not to say that this works well on every account. It doesn't. We have another account that we've tested Broad on, and we just can't seem to get results. But overall, we will always try and test Broad first and go on Broad and continue to try and test creatives on Broad alongside. If it's not working, we'll also test some alongside an interest-based audience to validate to make sure we are just solidifying the validation of those creatives. Okay, so if it doesn't work on Broad, we're not just scrapping those creatives. We also test them on the interest-based targeting as well. Okay, so yeah, just wanted to jump on, show this to you guys, just give you a little insight into our ad accounts, and that it is actually working for us. As you can see here, Broad 12x return on ad spend, 8x return on ad spend, 22.33x return on ad spend. Okay, so doing really well, and it's going to continue to do well. Facebook wants you to go Broad. Okay, so yeah, hope you guys found some value in that, and yeah, looking forward to chatting to you soon.